Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. I want to start off by saying thank you for the feedback on the previous swatch video. I was a little nervous to make it because I've been making so many MAC videos and showing you the same products. So I wasn't sure if you guys were going to be like, stop. I already saw that like 12 times on your channel already, but it was well received. I'm so grateful because again, I was pretty nervous. So as it seems, you guys wanted to see more swatches, and what you ask, I shall deliver. And so I have 5 more blushes for you today. I do have 3 or 4 other blushes, but I won't be swatching them because they are no longer available on the MAC website, and there's absolutely no point for me to do a recommendations video and not have the product available. So these will be the final 5 that I'm going to be swatching on my cheeks for you today. So without further ado, let's get into some more cheek swatches. Alright, so the first blush we have here is the ever famous Warm Soul. This is one of MAC's mineralized blushes, so you won't find this in the powder blush section where you'll find all the other ones. This is labeled under the mineralized blush. This has been a solid blush from MAC for a very long time now. I have the one in the older packaging. I'm not sure if the formulation has changed with the newer packaging, but if it has remained the same, then this is a very nice, sheeny, glowy, everyday blush. This is similar to the Glow Play blush in So Natural in that it's very hard to go wrong with it in the sense of application and color. It just goes with everything that you use, and it does offer again that very sheeny glow on the cheeks. As you can see on my skin, it is very glowy, very luminous, but it does pull my entire makeup look together. And even with like a cool neutral tone eyeshadow, it still looks good. So if you appreciate a little bit of sheen and glow in your blush, but want something that you can use with every single eye look, maybe you just want to purchase one from MAC, I would go with this one in the mineralized line. This next blush here is in Mocha, and this is a matte shade, and the next 3 shades I'm going to be showing you, honestly, they're very similar in color. So I'm going to try my best to explain the color difference so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about whilst I'm showing you the cheek swatches. Mocha happens to be one of the blushes that I've used quite a bit of. There is a very nice dent in this blush as I've used it many a times before. This was probably one of the blushes that wasn't a peachy pink or like a straight up peach that I loved. In terms of the color, as you can see on my cheeks, I hope I'm able to show you and explain what I'm seeing. In my opinion, it's got this warmish pink look to it, but right just grazing across the surface of the skin, it's got this purple, almost blue purple look to it. You can see it in the pan as well. It just kind of grazes on the top. It's not consistent while you look at it. It kind of shows with the movement of like the skin or the blush compact, but there's this light purple hue on top. So it's like a warm pink, almost leaning into that purple category. But yeah, it just grazes the surface. I hope you'll be able to see. I can see it on my viewfinder. I'm just hoping that it translates well after I edit this video. Next up, we have Blushbaby, and this is a sheer tone blush. If you are interested in the difference of finishes in MAC blushes, I believe I've done a video on it already, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called The Guide to MAC Blushes. MAC finishes, I'm not really sure, but I will be linking that down below for you. But in a nutshell, this is a soft mauve blush. Now I'm going to show you the difference between this and the previous one in Mocha. So right up against each other, you can tell that bluish purple hue. It's a little bit more vibrant in Mocha, whereas this is pretty much a muted, soft mauve color, and that shows up on the cheeks very well. So if your preference in blush leans more on the purple side as opposed to a peach or a pink, I would recommend Melba for the peachy pink. For a soft pink, I would recommend Fleur Power. So for a soft purple, like a soft mauve color, Blushbaby is definitely the way to go. I think they label this more as a pink, but I can definitely see, probably right here you can tell, it does have a mauve-ish hue to it. And on the cheeks it does come off as such. And if I were to put this against something like Fleur Power, then it'll be a little bit more evident, but just a very soft purple shade. Sheer tone blushes in general are very easy to blend out. It's hard to go overboard with it. So if your complexion is similar to mine and you want a soft purple, then check out Blushbaby. Next up we have Desert Rose, and this is another matte blush. And as you can see in the pan, this is probably the best lighting I can get for you. This is pretty true to what I'm seeing in real life as I'm seeing it in the viewfinder. But it is, I mean, it's a rose color. It's a little tricky to just say, oh, it's like a rose color, because a rose and a rose like makeup shade, it's not the same thing. So from the way that I see it on my skin, when I look at it, I think of like a berry shade. Think of a berry lip color. We all know what that kind of looks like. I would say that this is the softened version for the cheeks. So I'm going to show this next to Mocha so you can see the color difference. I think it's probably the better option than showing you Blushbaby, but there is a color difference. So there's more depth in here, there's more richness. It almost looks a little bit wine-like in the pan. On the cheeks, it doesn't go this deep. You can see the contrast. There's definitely a lot more pigment in the pan as there is on the cheeks. But yeah, in the pan it kind of looks a little bit wine, but definitely like on the cheeks, this is pretty much a berry shade. To round out this video, I have Coppertone here, and this is another matte blush. These types of shades happen to be my favorite ones out of all the blushes that's available on the market. Any brand, this is what I'm looking for all the time, and you can see that from my recent purchases of 2020 blushes. Like, I bought a lot of blushes and many of them came in a shade similar to this. I love neutralized peach blushes. That is by far my favorite category. Anything peach, like peachy pink, peach straight up, like orange, neutral peach, I love all of them, and this happens to be my favorite out of all the categories because it's so easy to wear, but I still maintain that undertone of my favorite blush type, and that's basically what this is. It's a neutralized warm peach shade on the cheeks. It's very easy to wear. I think this looks very great against, again, complexions like mine, like a tan, medium skin tone. It just goes on so effortlessly. There's no adjustments that need to be made. You can just kind of slap it on and it looks really good. If Melba's a little too light for you and you don't mind leaning a little bit on more of the neutral side as opposed to having that pop of pink, definitely check this shade out. It's so beautiful. And I have a confession to make. As I was rummaging through my blushes and looking at the other ones that I put in the back to MAC bag that I keep in the closet, I'm like, man, I'm thinking of giving away or, you know, back to MACing these blushes, and I don't want to. I love my MAC blushes. I don't want to get rid of them. I love that the original formula that I have still works well, and so I'm going to take back my declutter of these blushes. I'm going to keep them in a little tray, and if that means that I didn't hold true to what I said, that's okay. I can live with myself. I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself if I got rid of perfectly great blushes. It is my one category that I can have 1,000 of and I won't feel bad. So they are going back into the collection because I love them. Doing these past two videos has just solidified that. But anyways, that completes the cheek swatches of my current MAC blushes that are still available. So I've done 10 total. I hope that me doing these cheek swatches gives you a more realistic look at what the blushes would look like against the skin, because at the end of the day, doing this, it just doesn't work, especially with cheek product. You need to be able to see how it blends against the skin. So I really do hope that you found it informative and maybe help you pick out your next MAC blush. if not your first. Maybe first of many. I don't know. Thank you again for the awesome feedback in the first video, and I'm just hoping that this one would be just as helpful. I do have some other MAC videos coming in the future. I just need to finalize some thoughts and make sure again that it's content that isn't too redundant. So bear with me, they will be coming in the future. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.